This is part 3 of the Minecraft note block tutorial series, and here we will discuss what I call tracks. A track is what represents either a treble clef or bass clef on the sheet music. Let's take a look at the sheet music that we're going to use. In this case, there are two tracks, one treble and one bass. If you recall though, in part 2, when creating the canvas, I mentioned having 3 tracks. Minecraft note blocks work in stereo relative to your character's position. So the further a track is to the left of the character, the more it will only play in the left speaker. If the track is to the right of the character, the sound will be mostly coming out of the right speaker. If the note blocks are in the center, then the sound will play in both speakers. There are 2 ways to go about this. In the first song that I covered, Love Colored Master Spark, I stacked 2 tracks on top of each other. That was okay, but it was difficult to build and troubleshoot. What I ended up doing instead was to create multiple tracks layered horizontally. But why 3 tracks when there are 2 on the sheet music? For the melody, I create it once on the left side and then clone it to the right side. The bass track stays in the middle. So that's why we have 3 tracks when the sheet music has 2. So now I'm going to go back to Minecraft to do the fill command to create our tracks. I need a little bit of time here to get my windows situated. Recording with OBS, it's a little confusing. I have to do everything in the correct key sequence. I do that. Okay, here we go. Now let's use the fill command again to create our tracks. Each track will be only 1 block high at a Y value 72, which is 1 block above the top of our canvas. So we type /fill. We'll do 295, 72, 1906 by 400 by 72 by 1906. And then previously I had typed the full command block type, but now what I'll do is I'll do Minecraft :POL, and now what we can do is press tab. This is what they call tab completion, and it'll the command will get it'll completely fill in the rest of the command. So now I can press enter, and there's our first track. One other thing you can do if you press / up arrow, and now I'm going to backspace all the way back to the beginning of the block type. The Minecraft : is actually optional, so I can actually just start typing in polish _ andesite, and now press tab, and it'll fill in the Minecraft : for me. And I can press enter. Now it says no blocks were filled because the blocks were already there. So to bring that back up, now so for the X1 I use 295, as that's 10 blocks in from the start of our canvas, and that will give us enough room to get started with the redstone circuitry. X2 goes to 400, or the end of our current canvas. For Y1 and Y2, they're both 72, as we only want 1 block high. For Z1 and Z2, it's 1906. That's because we are going to start with the leftmost track 5 blocks in from the start of the canvas, which will give us sufficient space on the left side of the. Since we started at 1906, the next Z value will be 1912, and the next Z value will be 1918, and so on. By having it in increments of 6, it gives us enough space between the tracks, and it makes it easy to figure out what the next ones would be. So to create the other 2 tracks, we'll simply switch this Z value to 1912 and this one to 1912 and press enter. There's our second track. Press up arrow, / up arrow, move over, and then change this to 18. Change that to 18, press enter, and there's our 3 tracks. See you in the next video for part 4, which will talk about getting the song started.